Dare yourself to do hard things. Written and published by Book Boost. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a dark forest. The path ahead is rough, full of unknown dangers, and your heart beats faster with every step you hesitate to take. What if the easy way was just to turn around, to stay safe and comfortable? But then, what would you miss? What would your life become if you never dared to walk through the hard places? How often do we choose comfort over challenge, ease over effort? When faced with a difficult decision or a tough moment, do we run away, or do we stand firm and face what's hard? These daily choices shape us. They carve the paths of our character, either towards weakness or strength. Let me share something simple but powerful. A young man once wanted to learn to swim. He feared the deep water, the cold, the unknown. But he dared himself to jump in. Day after day, he fought against panic and tiredness. Soon, he was no longer afraid. He had done the hard thing, and in doing so, he found strength he never knew he had. Welcome to Book Boost. Here, we explore the quiet power inside each of us, the power to control ourselves, to stand strong when everything wants to pull us down. If you find value in these words, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please drop down your one thought on believe in yourself in comments. Your voice matters, and together, we grow stronger. We live in a world that teaches us to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to run from struggle. Yet, the true growth, the kind that builds steel will and unbreakable spirit, only comes from daring to do hard things. It is in these moments, when we refuse to be weak, that we become masters of ourselves. The greatest minds of old, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, remind us, the obstacle on the path becomes the way. When we face difficulty with courage and calm, we conquer not just the outside world, but our own fears and desires. The fire of challenge forges a mind that cannot be shaken. In the silence of struggle, we find clarity. The storm inside, anger, doubt, despair, loses power when we meet it with steady heart and reasoned mind. This is not just surviving. This is thriving. This is the path of those who dare to rise above their weakness. So, dare yourself now. Step into the hard. It is where your true self awaits. Endure the fire, where discipline is forged. There is no forge without fire, and no strength without struggle. Imagine a blacksmith, hammering a piece of iron again and again. The metal bends, it twists, it burns red hot. But through this pain, it becomes unbreakable. So too is our spirit shaped by the hardships we endure. We often wish for ease, for a life without hardship. Yet, it is only by enduring the fire that we become truly strong. Discipline is not a gift that falls from the sky. It is a flame kindled inside, fueled by every hard choice we make. It asks us to stand firm when every voice within us begs to give up. It is the quiet voice that says, "Not today." It is the will that refuses to be broken by discomfort or fear. To endure the fire means to accept that hardship is not the enemy, but the teacher. Think about the cold wind biting through your skin on a winter morning. It is harsh. It makes you shiver. But if you choose to step outside, again and again, you grow stronger. Your body adapts. Your mind hardens. You are no longer a prisoner of comfort. The same happens inside. When we face hard things, pain, fear, doubt, and we do not flee, we build a fortress of resilience that no storm can destroy. Many run from pain as if it were poison. But pain is a signal, a messenger. It shows us where we must grow. The great Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The obstacle, the difficulty, the fire, all of these are part of the path, not detours. We do not seek pain, but when it comes, we embrace it as the crucible that shapes us. This discipline, this strength of will, does not come from sudden bursts of courage. It is forged in the small, daily acts of endurance. Getting up when you want to stay in bed. Speaking the truth when lies are easier. Holding your tongue when anger rises. These small battles, fought quietly and often alone, build the steel of character. Over time, they make you unshakable. Imagine a tree in a storm. The wind bends it, pushes it to the ground. Yet the tree does not break. Why? Because its roots run deep. So must we root ourselves in endurance. Discipline is those roots, holding us steady through every storm. It is the silent promise we make to ourselves, I will not break. We must understand that self-control is not weakness. It is not denying yourself pleasure because you fear life. It is the greatest freedom, the power to decide how you respond, no matter what the world throws at you. Epictetus, once a slave who became a great teacher, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True power lies not in commanding others, but in commanding your own mind. The fire of hardship burns away our illusions. It strips us of false hopes and soft excuses. It forces us to face ourselves honestly, to see where we are weak and where we hide. And when we face ourselves with courage, we find the strength to change. We become like the bronze statue in the furnace, shaped, refined, perfected. Some fear failure, but failure is not the enemy. It is part of the process. Every time we fail and stand again, we are tempered stronger. The philosopher Seneca reminded us, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. The more we endure, the more we grow. Our minds become sharper, our spirits harder. Discipline also means patience. The fire is not a quick trial. It is a long journey. Sometimes it feels unbearable. Sometimes the night is so dark we forget the dawn. But this is where fortitude lives, in those moments when you hold on despite everything telling you to quit. It is the steady heartbeat in the chaos. We often look for external reasons to fight, a great goal, a noble cause. But the truest fight is the one inside, the battle against our own weakness. Every temptation resisted, every destructive urge conquered, is a victory. And these victories, small as they seem, stack up until they form a mountain no force can move. Remember that enduring the fire is a choice. We cannot control every hardship life sends, but we can control how we meet it. With bitterness, with fear, or with a calm resolve that says, "This will not break me." The choice is ours, and it shapes every moment to come. In this endurance, we discover something deeper than strength. We find peace, the peace that comes not from ease, but from knowing you have faced what was hard and stood firm. The peace that comes when your spirit is no longer tossed like a leaf on the wind, but anchored in purpose and courage. So let us welcome the fire. Let us see it not as a curse, but as the very place where our true selves are born. For in the heat of struggle, we become more than we were. We become unbreakable. And as we walk this path, we walk it together. Each step into difficulty is a step toward freedom, a step toward the mastery of ourselves. The fire is waiting. Dare to endure it. Taming the storm within, overcoming destructive emotions. We all carry a storm inside us. It rages with anger, fear, jealousy, and sadness. These emotions can feel so real and overwhelming that they seem to control us. But what if I told you that this storm doesn't have to rule your life? What if you could calm it, tame it, and use its power to become stronger instead of weaker? Every moment of anger, every wave of fear, is a choice. It feels natural to react, to lash out, or to retreat. Yet, when we let these destructive emotions control us, they chain us to pain, confusion, and regret. The true strength lies not in hiding from the storm, but in standing firm inside it, unmoved, clear-headed, and unshaken. Imagine a great tree standing in a fierce wind. It bends but does not break. Its roots run deep, holding firm even when the storm tries to tear it down. This is what happens when we learn to master our emotions. The roots are our reason and self-control. The storm is the emotion trying to shake us. And the tree, that is the person who has tamed their inner chaos. Long ago, a wise teacher said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. It is a reminder that no one and nothing can force you to feel or act in a certain way unless you allow it. The world may try to pull your strings, but your inner self remains free if you hold tight to reason. This freedom is not easy. It asks us to be brave, brave enough to face pain, loss, and failure without losing ourselves. Brave enough to resist quick anger and destructive thoughts. Brave enough to look inward and see the truth about our fears and desires. But once you start this journey, something changes deep inside. The storm loses its power to blind and control you. When we lose control to emotions, it is like drinking poison hoping the other person will suffer. We harm ourselves first, and only then see the damage we cause outside. Anger burns us from the inside. Fear paralyzes our steps, and jealousy poisons our joy. By choosing calmness and understanding instead, we protect ourselves and become better for those around us. It is important to remember, emotions themselves are not enemies. They are signals. Sometimes, fear warns us of danger. Sadness teaches us what we value. Anger calls attention to injustice. The problem is not feeling these emotions, but letting them rule our actions and cloud our judgment. A true master of self is not someone who never feels anger or sadness, but someone who understands them, accepts them, and lets them pass like clouds in the sky. They watch without losing their peace. This is the art of taming the storm, not fighting the wind, but learning how to stand strong in it. Each time you resist a destructive urge, each time you pause before reacting in anger, you grow stronger. Your mind becomes a fortress, your spirit unbreakable. Over time, this strength becomes your nature. It no longer takes effort. It simply is who you are. The ancient philosophers taught that pain and hardship are part of life's design. To wish otherwise is to fight against nature itself. Instead, we should embrace difficulty as the forge that shapes us. Like steel is tempered by fire, so too is our character shaped by how we handle our emotions. To tame the storm within is to choose your path in every moment. You decide what to believe, how to respond, and what to hold on to. You learn that freedom comes from within, from self-control, from patience, from understanding your own mind. So when the next wave of anger rises, breathe deeply. When fear threatens to stop you, remind yourself of your inner strength. When sadness feels heavy, accept it, but do not let it drown you. Step back from the chaos inside and watch it without judgment. Know that it will pass, and you will remain. This is not weakness. This is courage. This is the quiet power of those who dare to master themselves. The power that no storm can destroy. In the end, when we tame the storm inside, we find peace that no outside force can shake. We become the calm in the chaos, the light in the darkness, the unmovable rock in the raging sea. And in this peace, we discover what it truly means to be free.